Good morning, everyone. It's Erica here from Me2 Paper Crafts. It's a beautiful sunny day, but oh my goodness, it's so windy here in Victoria, British Columbia, where I reside. And I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I've been doing this for 11 years. It's my 11th year this year, and I've loved every minute of it. It's been great. I've met so many creative people. I've made lots of new friends, and it's just been a great creative journey. So today I have a card to show you and some ideas for using this stamp set. It's called Round We Go. And the stamp set with coordinating dies, they actually make rosettes. So I don't know, years and years ago, rosettes were very, very popular. If you are an equestrian rider, or you compete, or you know people who compete, they always get these beautiful ribbons with these huge rosettes at the top with the ribbon coming down at the bottom. And they're just beautiful. And they're very, very popular in the United States for Independence Day. Often their decor will include these huge red, blue, and white rosettes. And yeah, they can be used on all kinds of things. The ideas I have for you today are to create these rosettes and then put them on either a gift package, a little box, or put them on a bag, because they're not the best for sending a card in the mail. I mean, I'll show you this card that I created. It's actually, I copied it right out of the catalog to show you. They won't go through the mail very well unless you put them in a kind of a little box, perhaps, or put some padding around it. So you will pay extra postage for it. But if you hand give cards, then it's absolutely perfect for that. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll bring up my desktop camera here. And you can see that I have been playing around. Let's get rid of my keyboard here. And let's come a little bit closer. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. Okay, so take a look at this card. All right, so if you look at the catalog, it is on page 63. If you are a new stamper or a new crafter and you're new to Stampin' Up! And you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd be really happy to help you. As long as you live in Canada, you can purchase through me. And I have a website called ericaedney.com, so you can go on over there and take a look at some of my past creations, as well as there's links to my online store as well. But round you go. All right, so it is a bundle. So again, if you're new to Stampin' Up, a bundle is usually a stamp set with a set of dies, or it could be a stamp set with a punch. So here's an example of a punch. Or it could be a stamp set with an embossing folder here to kind of show you. So this creates dimension on paper. So that's what a bundle is. And because they bundle the two products together, you automatically get a 10% discount on that. Now we have a sale coming up starting on I think it's June the 5th. We have a sale coming up so that all of the bundles that are online, so everything that's in the catalog that is a bundle, as well as what are called our online exclusives, these are products that can only be found online, they're going to go for an additional 10% off. So another sale coming up. And so you've got the stamp set here, and then you've also got the dies. And I'm going to show you all the different ways to use the dies. So here is I'm just going to pull out my Zoom a little bit more. There we go. All right, so this I did on a card base. This is boho blue. So these are the colors that are used in the catalog. And then I used a piece of designer series paper in the back, which is the lemon lolly color. And then I created these little flat rosettes. So these don't use a die other than to cut out. I'll show you that. I might be confusing you here, but here's an actual rosette. It's a dimensional rosette that I created. And then I created the label here, or the sentiment here. I'm just kind of looking at my display, and it looks like I'm I'm upside down again. It was the right way when I started and it switched over for me and I can't fix it while I'm live. So we're going to just have to bear with it. I apologize for that. Okay, so I'm going to show you about the dies and how they work. So here's the stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set, which is great because it makes it very easy to line up the rosettes. And you've got lots of great little greetings on here. Time to celebrate. This is your day. Happiest birthday to you. Hip, hip, hooray. So you can celebrate a year, a month. You've got a nice scripted happy birthday here. And then you've got your rosettes. And then you want to make note that one of the rosettes has rounded edges and the other rosette has little points to them. So you need to know that because here's an example of where I stamped. The smaller rosette has the points on it and the larger rosette has the rounded circles. So here are the dies. So if you were to cut this out, this die has the rounded, it's like a scalloped edge. And so you can cut that out like that. Okay. And then you've got the smaller die, which has the points on it so that you can cut out this rosette here with the points. Okay, so you end up with something like this. Okay, here's the pointed one here. Now, when you stamp these, you can stamp them either on your white cardstock or you can stamp them on a coordinating color of cardstock. So for example, on the card here, I actually stamped this on the blue cardstock here. And I want to show you a couple of ways that you can stamp these. So let me just pull in another piece of cardstock here. And I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet because these are the photopolymer stamps, so they need a bit of cushioning to get a really crisp image. Okay, so I'll just use this smaller one here. We'll pull out a bright color, Berry Burst. Just pull this color out and show you. Okay, so what you want to do is you can either just stamp it straight on like that. Okay, so you've got the Berry Burst and the white background, or you can just twist it. So once you've stamped it, you just twist it a bit to fill in the gaps between the color and then stamp it again and you can get a two-toned. See that? So you can either stamp it once and have the white in between or just stamp it again and just twist the stamp a little bit just to fill in the edges, and then you get this two-tone color. Isn't that pretty? It's really pretty. And then of course you would use the die to cut that out. Now another thing you can do is a decorative element. Let me just close my ink pad here. There are some other dies in here. These two dies here, these don't cut out circles. They actually just cut little dots in it. So I'm going to put this, I'll just show you how it works. I'm going to put this in the middle. So if I wanted some little holes cut out, I'll put that in the middle. And then let me just grab some of my Post-it tape here. And I'm going to just stick both of those down. Okay, now I'm going to run it to my Big Shot. Actually, I just noticed I'm working on Very Vanilla cardstock. I didn't mean to use Very Vanilla. I meant to use white, but that's okay. Just showing you how the dies work here. They're so fun because there's so many combinations that you could do with this. Okay, so check this out now. So it's cut out the whole rosette. I didn't get it on there very evenly. And then this has put, see, I don't know if you can see that. This has put little holes in the center. Can you see that? There's little holes in the center. So that is another fun thing that you can do. And then you've got these little, you've got two circles in here, two circle dies, so that you could add on, I'll show you on the card. See these little lemon lolly circles, so you can fill them. So you can kind of create daisies in a way. You can put these center pieces in there. So you've got two sizes for that. I guess one for the small one and one for the larger rosette. So you've got those. And then another fun thing is you also have, this is a circle that cuts out and it embosses a huge star on there. So I don't know if you can see that, the embossing on here. You see that? So because my camera's turned the other way, I'm kind of all over the map as to where to show you things. I'm so sorry about that. I know I'm upside down, Carol. I can see your comment. It wasn't upside down when I started, and then it flipped. Okay, so here's an example of, I just die cut using this small die, and die cut this out, and then I stamped my greeting, and again I used the larger there's a larger one here somewhere. I did put all my dies back. Anyway, there's a larger one to create this cutout here. So you can add some decorative elements to that. Okay, so let's just put these dies back so I don't lose them. Now, the actual rosette dies themselves, what's really fun is if you cut these out of cardstock, you actually just get little daisies or little flowers. Okay, so that's just cut out of white, but you could cut this out of any number of colors. So you've got a large one and a small one, so you could create a lovely daisy card. Again, you could put that centerpiece in there. So those are fun. And then, oh yeah, here's that larger polka dot one, or holes, the larger one. I was missing that. So let's put those two together on there. Okay. Now, when you've cut these or use these, you will get little pieces of cardstock stuck in there. So you can just take your die brush and you can just poke out those little dots. You want to make sure they're out before you die cut again. So that's a way to get them out, is just to use your die brush to get them all out. Okay. All right, now this die here, this is the die that creates the rosette. So when you create a rosette, you want to cut two of them. So I've already done that. So let me show you that. I've got two of them. Okay, and it's already got all of the score marks in here. So what you're going to do is, when you look at them, you've got a glue tab. So I don't know if you can see that. You see how it's angled on the edges here? See the angles here? So that's your glue tab. Okay, so you start by folding that back, then you fold forward, then you fold back, then you fold forward. Good morning, Christine. And then back, and then forward and back. So you do that along the full length of this. You don't have to use your bone folder. You just can squeeze it with your fingers. It's very, very easy to fold. Back, forward, and forward, and back. Now you can easily make rosettes just by using your scoreboard. You just, cut yourself a strip of paper, and depending on the width of the paper will determine the size of your rosette. And then you just score, every, well, you can do it any widths that you want, really. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing on the second piece, back and forth throughout the whole thing. Now, I wouldn't really advise using this die with cardstock. I think the rosette would be a little too, I don't know, hard to manage. I haven't tried it personally. I haven't tried it, but I do think that using your designer series paper is your better option for making these rosettes. You'll see why when I go to put it together. Imagine creating a cute little gift box and then putting a rosette on top, or decorating a bag. with rosettes. Or if you have kids in school, you could create rosettes for prizes. All right, so we've got our 2 strips here. So what you want to do is you're going to take one of the glue tabs. See, this is the glue tab on here. And you're going to glue that to the opposite end. So you're not gluing glue tab to glue tab. You're gluing glue tab to the other end like that, okay? Excuse me. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of glue, and I thought glue worked better, liquid glue. Okay, and I'm going to, it's like putting a box together, and I'm just going to sit that on top like that and glue that together. Okay, so you've got a continuous flow of your pattern. You see that? Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take that other glue tab, which is here. This is the other glue tab. I'm going to put a bit of glue on here. And I'm going to glue this piece to it. There we go. And you want to make sure it's really dry because you're going to flex this to create the rosette. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. So you've got this really cute little bracelet. All right, now the next thing is that you need a circle punch. So you can use pretty well any size circle punch. Well, not any size, it has to be smaller than the rosette, but I've pulled out my 1 3/4 inch punch. This is an older punch that did retire, but they brought it back. So this is in our online exclusive. So if you go to my store and you go into the online exclusive section, or just search for punches, you'll find this 1 3/4 punch. So what you want to do, oh, for heaven's sakes, did I not bring? Okay, perfect. Here's my tip I showed not too long ago. I'm going to just back up a little bit before we use the punch. So for today's card, I really don't know what I'm creating, but we're going to create it together. I've got a basic white card base, tent fold, okay? And then this is fresh freesia, and this is 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then I'm going to build my design on the white. So I've got some very thin layers here. I love the look of thin layers. Look at that. Okay. Now I need to cut a fresh freesia hole punch, and this is a layer. So I can just punch this right out of this because you're not going to see it. Okay. So I'm just going to punch that out like that. And this is not going to be shown. Okay, so rather than grabbing another piece of cardstock, I can just punch it right out of the middle of that. You see? There's a little tip for you. Okay, so here's my little circle. So what I'm going to do now is, this is a little bit fiddly, but you kind of just have to work this so that it starts to flatten. See that? It just flattens. There you go. So it will flatten on its own. You just have to kind of push it into place, okay? And then at this point, you can decide, you know, do you like the polka dots on the front, or do you want the other side, which is just a plain color? But I like the polka dots better, okay? So now what you want to do is you're going to glue this to this here. So what I like to do is I'm just going to flip it over to the reverse side. Okay, then I'm going to just put a block on here to hold it flat. And I'm going to grab some glue. Just grab some glue. And now I'm going to, whoops, put this on top. Okay, you want to kind of squeeze it together to make that hole in the middle as tiny as you can. And just hold that on there until it glues together. Okay, so I'll just put that on top for now. And that's how you make your little rosette. All right, now let's start decorating the cards. So what I thought I would do, I was just kind of playing around earlier, is I was playing with my colors. Now I pulled out all of our current pinks. Look at this stack of ink pads. These are all of our current pinks. I put them in alphabetical order. We've got Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, Moody Mauve, Petunia Pop, and Pretty in Pink. So Petunia Pop and Pretty in Pink are our newest colors. And they're very, very pretty. I think I'm going to use one of those. I'm going to use the Petunia Pop. Fresh Freesia is my my colored cardstock. And then I'm going to also use this Bubble Bath. It's the pale color. So of those colors, I'm going to pick out those three. See, this cardstock is Fresh Freesia. So what I thought I would do is, again, I'm going to pull in my little silicone mat here. I thought I would just randomly stamp some of these starbursts. And I really don't care that they overlap each other. I'm just going to kind of make some kind of a design. So I've got the small and the large. So let's start with the Bubble Bath. That's the lightest pink. And I'm going to stamp off the page a little bit. So I've stamped once, and then I'm going to twist it. Trying to get my head right over there. Okay, that was a really pale color. Something went wrong up there. I don't know what happens. I'm going to start again. So I'm going to bring it close. You got to get your head right over it. I'm going to stamp and then twist. There we go. Now it's really, really pale. I mean, I can barely see that second color in there. So if you don't like that, you could stamp it again or do a different color even. Okay, so I've got that. I think I'm going to do another one. The 2-time stamping really works better with darker colors. Yeah, it's not showing up very well. Okay. So I'm going to use I think I'm going to pull in the Petunia Pop. It's a darker color. So see, the larger one has the rounded edges on it. And I'll twist. I forgot to twist the first one. So I'll ink it up and then I'll just stamp it off. Now that's interesting. I was even on this side, but it didn't work on that side. But look at the design it made. That's kind of odd. Oh, well, it is what it is. Now, the other thought I had was I'm going to use these dies that create holes in it, and I'm going to create a hole in all of these, and then the color of the cardstock behind it will show through. So let's cut this out. So see what that did? It put little holes in there. Now again, I'm just going to quickly brush this off. And I'll do it again over here. And then I'll take the larger ones. You've got two sizes here. Hi, Sharon. Nice of you to catch me live. So what did everybody do on the weekend? It has been so ridiculously rainy here. I almost think that my flowers are all drowning. Everything new that we planted. I planted zinnias from seed, and they're starting to come up, but I think they need a lot more warm weather. Okay, I'm finished with the little one, and we just have to do the bigger one. Look at that. That looks great. So this is a bit fiddly. It takes a bit of time, but I think the results are worth it. Let's do one more. Wow. Love it. Okay, now if you don't have this old, this is our older little die brush, but our new tool, pick your tool, take your pick tool is called. This is our take your pick tool. This is another attachment that you can purchase. You can get a set of attachments. So you unscrew the putty end, and then you can screw this end in. See that? And now you have your die brush. So you can just roll this over. And if you have like a foam pad, you can roll it over the foam pad and all those little dots will come out. It's typically used on the cardstock to get the intricate die pieces out, but you can also, you know, use it on your dies, as you see I've been doing. Okay, so take a look at that. Okay, now I've got little confetti over there. Let me just take a second. Actually, did I ever show you my little vacuum cleaner? I always forget to use it. Look at this cute little vacuum cleaner I have. Look at that. It just picked up all those little bits. Isn't that cool? All right. So let's assemble our card, what we've got so far. So we've got our card base, and then we've got our fresh frieze on here. Now I'm going to use Tombow glue. When I have really narrow borders, I need wiggle room to make sure I get it on straight. See, so now I can move it over a little bit. And I need to move it up a little bit. Okay. So see, that punch circle, we're not even going to see it. And I'm going to put this on top. Well, actually, here's an interesting effect. Here's an interesting effect. Oh, maybe I'll turn it around, put this upside down. No, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here's the funny thing. Now that I've got this circle in here, I've got the whites showing through. So now when I put my layer on top for this particular daisy, I can see the cardstock through half, or the fresh freesia through half and the white through the other half, because I cut that circle out. But here it's all fresh freesia. It's funny the results that you get when you're crafting. So just let's use this Tombow glue. Again. And let's put this on here. Those are what I call happy accidents. I mean, it's kind of added some visual interest on that, right? You've got some fresh freesia and you've got some white poking through. All right, so there's our cards so far. It'll be covered through by the rosette. Yeah, I don't know where I'm putting my rosette yet. So here's my rosette, and it's quite large. I might just stick it right smack in the middle there. Okay, now if you wanted to add a bit more interest, we've got these little centers. So on the centers, I didn't bring a lot of different colored cardstocks here. That was silly. So maybe I'll just pull in. I've got my fresh freesia here. So what I could do is cut, let's see, I need 2 large centers. Oh dear. Oh my gosh, look at all the stuff on my floor. All right, so I'm going to cut some fresh freesia centers just to show you. So here are my circles. Now, if you have glimmer paper, oh my gosh, the centers would be so pretty in glimmer paper. We have a new pack of in color glimmer paper. I bought all the new in color stuff, but I forgot the glimmer paper. Totally forgot the glimmer paper, but I'm sure you've seen this. I have a bowl on my desk, and when I'm crafting and I create things, any pieces that I don't end up using, like I punched these hearts out quite a while ago and I haven't used them, and I've got some bits of yellow ribbon in here. And I had a whole bunch in here the other day. Here's another example of a bunch of, I call it ephemera. It's just stuff that I've created but didn't use. So then I'll poke around in here and grab something to use on another card. So I found this cute little bow. This glimmer paper is still available. It came out a couple of Christmases ago, but you could even put a bow on top of your rosette. Look how pretty that is. So I might use that today, but I need another circle on here. Okay, so I've got these, and you could even throw these through the embossing folder and give these some texture as well. There's another idea. Let me just grab my tweezers here. And I'll just glue these on. Now watch when you die cut these. There's a right and a wrong side. They've got a nice, cute little um, edge to them. Okay, so we're going to throw those on there. Okay, let's just put my dies back on my. And the other thing you can do is you could do, so maybe we'll do this. I can cut, let's see, I should have brought some cardstock here. Oh well, we'll just keep it with this fresh freesia here. So another idea, this is wide enough. I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to layer it on top of this rosette here. Let's see what that looks like. You could just spend a whole afternoon making rosettes and having them ready for lots of different projects. Look how sweet these are. Isn't that cute? So I could put this on top. Look at that. That's pretty. Now, how am I going to glue that on? I think I'm going to need a glue dot because there's a hole in here. Now, some people, when you create rosettes, they often bring out their glue gun. But I'm going to, let's see if I can fit a smaller glue dot in there. It's got a little hole. I should have squeezed it a bit tighter, I think. Let's just grab. See if I can get that in there. And then get the top off. Now, let's see. I'm going to put another one on there. So I've kind of filled that hole with our mini glue dots or mini dimensionals. And now I'm going to throw this on top. Okay, that works. And then we could do the bow. Okay, I need an opinion, ladies. Bow or no bow? Bow or no bow? Oh, says Krista. Hi, Krista. Just popped in. You like the bow? I think I'm going to offset it a little bit too. All right, so I'm going to glue this on. Sure about the bow now that I look at it. I think it would be better off with a gem in the middle. So let's pull out my gems here. And that's the wrong color, millimeter bow. Oh, I have these. Look at these pearls. Let's use one of these pearls. They're iridescent pearls. They're gorgeous. Long two. Have this one. I have two take your pick tools. Let's add that there, and then let's add a couple more. There you go. So if you look at this card, it's quite thick, so it will cost you more to send it through the mail. There you go. There's our card. Again, I apologize for my camera orientation. It was funny when I set it up, it was backwards, and then I twisted the camera, and then it was perfect, and I put it in the camera mount, and it was still perfect. And then by the time I went live, I don't know if it started live one way and then switched, or just as I pressed the live button, it switched. It just does that sometimes, and I have no control. It's quite pretty even without the bow. If you turn the card upside down to you, it'd be better for us to decide. Yes, I always forget to do that because normally I don't do this. There you go. There's the card. But we've chosen pearls now. Thanks for your input, though. I always love to get your feedback. It's like we're designing a project together. So there you go. There is that stamp bundle. So if you're interested, you could wait for the sale and get the additional 10% off. And here's the other card that I made. And it's really pretty when you make it out of designer series paper. I just think it adds a lot to it. You could do plain colors too, but it's nice to have some, some more design features on there. So there you go. Have fun. I hope I showed you all of what you can do with it. If you come up with some new ideas, let me know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I even love just this. I'm going to make a simple daisy card. I'll do some yellow. I'll do it in Daffodil Delight, and then I'll mount them one on top of another. You know what I mean? I'll do one white and then one yellow, and I'll twist it a bit to make some daisies. Very pretty. All right, ladies, thank you so much for watching. Yes, it is pretty with the pearls. I love those pearls. Love them, love them. And they're still available. I think I glued a little hair on there too. Oh my gosh. All right, I'll have to play with that and get rid of that. Don't know how that got on there. I don't have a cat, but I have a full head of hair. All right, I'll have to play with that. It's being really stubborn. Okay, have a super day and a great week, and I'll be back on Thursday night. If there's something in the catalog for Case the Caddy for Thursday night, let me know. As long as I have the stamp bundle, I can make it, but you can give me some suggestions and we can see what we come up with for Thursday night. Thanks again, ladies, and we will see you Thursday night. Bye for now.